Good afternoon, everybody. So I wanted to come to you with some news, and I've got my screen right here in front of me to go over this with you. But it appears that there have been some insurance companies who have requested from the insurance reform people some decreases in their premiums. So Florida Peninsula is seeking an 8.4% for homeowner policies and 12% for condo policies rate decrease for their insured people. Now, there are a couple of caveats to this. The first thing is that it has to be a voluntary insurance policy, meaning that it wasn't a policy that they acquired through Citizens or through one of our state insured programs. So that is the first thing. So if you are with Citizens and it gets sold over to Florida Peninsula or some of these other insurance companies who are asking for these rate decreases, then you probably will not see a rate decrease unless you voluntarily go shop and sign on with them in a different means. One of the things that I wanted to go over with you is that if this is approved by the state insurance regulators, they take effect October 31st of this year, so 2025, which means that we might see some rate decreases either the end of this year or sometime in 2026. That is a good thing. We have, as you know, we've seen a lot of insurance rate increases over the years. Florida Realtors on a state level has been strongly advocating to have some extra regulations put in place to help offset or start decreasing the cost of insurance. It says here is that cost hikes are finally beginning to slow and in some cases recede as the legislative reforms of 2022 and 2023 are reducing insurers' claims and litigation costs. So that was part of what Florida Realtors was advocating for, was to have some insurance reform that could, in a couple years down the line, translate to rate decreases. And that is finally what we are seeing, which is great news if you are insured and just need some cost savings, or if you're getting ready to purchase a home and you want to see those cost savings as far as insurance, because I know insurance is a big thing that can hold some people back from purchasing a home or upgrading their home, things like that. So anyway, coming down a little bit more in this news article here, it says that a recent analysis by the South Florida Sun Sentinel showed that companies that insure about 1/3 of the state's homeowners were able to reduce costs between January and May, while customers of companies that insure the other 2/3 saw increases. So one thing that the insurance companies, just so you're aware, are fighting is the cost of inflation. So they might apply a rate decrease that you might have otherwise seen, but because of the cost of repairing or replacing a damaged home, the cost of the materials involved have gone up. They haven't been able to translate directly to cost savings for the homeowner. Some of these deep rate decreases that they're asking for could actually directly translate to savings in our pockets, which is good, right? So there's a little bit of a battle with the whole inflationary thing over the last couple of years, but on the flip side, what they're asking for should be substantial enough where we start to see some savings. It says Florida Peninsula President Clint Strauch was quoted in the release as saying that the reforms contributed to a measurable drop in frivolous lawsuits and inflated claims, providing us the ability to pass on the savings from the law's changes to our policyholders. So again, very great news if they get approved. So they still have to go through the approval process with the insurance reform people, the insurance regulators. But other than that, if it gets all approved and everything's good, then we should start seeing those savings very soon. Other insurers who have requested similar rate decreases since last year include Safe Harbor, U.S. Coastal, Castle Key, Centauri Specialty, and Southern Oak. So those are not big names that I've heard of before. I have heard of Florida Peninsula. There are some others. But one of the things is that if the insurance regulators do approve these rate decreases or this rate decrease, even if there are other insurance companies who are not listed here, that's going to drive them to start lowering their rates as well, because they're always going to want to stay in competition. So that falls back on the economy, the whole supply and demand. If a certain number of people start dropping their insurance rates, then it's going to force those higher dollar insurance companies to drop their rates as well to keep that competition alive. So this is good news. I'm glad to finally see that what we have advocated for back in 2022 and 2023, yes, it took effect back then, but we knew there was going to be a little bit of a trickle down effect and there was going to be a little bit of a waiting period. We are finally seeing the fruits of our labor. So this is great news. I hope everybody has a wonderful day. Take care.